This week on the PRESSURECAST, Dead or Alive Xtreme 3 won't come to the West, PlayStation 4 hits 30 million, and Demon's Souls could soon be remastered. It's Monday, November 30th, 2015. Everything happening in the world of video games is here, now, on the PRESSURECAST. Hey, Pressure Pals, welcome to the 106th episode of the PRESSURECAST, VideoGamesAreDumb.com's weekly news panic that posts every single Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, TuneIn Radio, and America's longest-running independent newspaper at ShepherdExpress.com. My name is Colin Copies Tanner, and I am caffeinated and ready to ramble about some video games. Alongside me, Steve Can't Stop the Music Cuff.
That's right, I've been trying to sing JoJo songs to these guys. They don't know who JoJo was. Like, they didn't have a radio in 2005.
And across from him, Justin JoJo Inglejoe.
I don't know who JoJo is.
Oh, get out. Get out right
JoJo
now. This is the end of you and me.
I remember Casey and JoJo.
Well, like, no.
No, like a no-hitter. Like
Guys.
Doc Ellis.
We're here to talk about some video games, but as always, we always have some new listeners. So in case you've never listened to the PRESSURECAST before, each week the PRESSURECAST slices up the latest video game news, past, present, and future, and deliver it right into your ears in several sensational segments in 2 hours or less. Starting off with our favorite segment, well, at least mine. I don't want to speak for you guys. I know we all have our favorite segments of the show.
My mouth.
And that would be, thank you for the email. That's right. Every single week, you can email us, pressurecast@gmail.com, or tweet us at PressureCastPod, or even call or text a message at 954-947-7377. Keep in mind, if you do call in, it's just a voicemail box. No one's going to answer. Just leave a message. You can fart in there. I don't care.
You're not going to answer, Colin?
I'm not going to answer the phone. I promise.
You see it ringing, but you're like, nope, it's a voicemail box.
And, of course, we have our first email from Game Master Greg.
Oh, finally, Greg.
The Grandmaster of Super Mario Sunshine. I was playing that online this week. I was streaming it. And
I saw you stream.
He was helping me out a lot because I'm whatever.
It's like, go down the pipe.
Dude, that's the best part
Pick
about
up the
streaming
side.
is when you have people watching, it makes you so much better because you're not like wandering around in circles trying to figure out the
It helps very, very much. He had a question on there. He actually asked me on the stream. I said, hold on, could you email that? Because I'm trying to play some Super Mario Sunshine here. And he was kind enough to email us this question. Here it is. Hey, Colin, Justin, and Steve, if he decides to show up, I don't... Whoa.
Oh, Steve.
Throwing shade.
All right,
Throwing
but
shade,
just
I
because
love
it's
it.
Greg, we got to let pass. Greg's a good guy. He even sent a picture of Justin one week. Okay, so I just found out that my most anticipated game for 2016, Game of the Year contender, action-packed, Dead or Alive Xtreme 3, will in fact not be making it to the States. I was even planning on getting the PlayStation VR as this game was a system seller. Basically, they said that it's because of how we treat females in the video game industry. What's going on, Colin? How is this game any different from the other Xtreme games? Besides the graphics. Oh, and the bikini falling off. Oh, and the
what?
ass physics. Sorry, getting carried away here. Any input? Greg. P.S. When you import the game, are you doing a first hour when you import the game? Let's give a little bit of context to this. Dead or Alive Xtreme 3 is the third in the Xtreme Beach Volleyball series in Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive, of course, is a fighting game series, 3D fighting game series that started originally in arcades, went over to the original PlayStation and Saturn, then Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, and then Xbox. I could go through the whole series lineage right there. It's a series that has lots of action punch combo things and whatever. I thought I heard Stag for a second. I thought we were losing it. Did you hear that?
I thought I heard
I
it
know.
too.
I thought we were
And I was
losing.
like, oh, I see Colin's heart breaking.
I know. Oh my goodness.
We're good.
But they have a volleyball segment because they have very attractive women that have breast physics. They jump up and down and their breasts shake. And they said, okay, let's make a volleyball game out of this. Which was an Xbox exclusive, which I have, and I almost streamed it. I was like,
I might want to wait for the new one.
Anyway, here's why people have such a major issue. We have the Asian release, which is just Asia altogether. That actually has English voice acting in it. Not English voice acting. It has English subtitles. It's fully translated into English, and people were ready for it to come to the West. Somebody actually reached out to Dead or Alive Game on Facebook, which is the official Dead or Alive Facebook page or whatever, and said, hey, you're going to bring this over here? And here's what they said in response. We do not bring DOA X3 to the West and won't have any plan change in the future. There's some broken English here. You got to work with me.
A little bit.
A little bit. And someone said, why not? And he said, do you know many issues happening in video game industry with regard to how to treat female in video game industry? We do not want to talk those things here, but certainly we have gone through in the last year or two to come to our decision. That Facebook post, by the way, was deleted randomly 2 days ago because I actually saved it for the story, and it was gone. And not only that, but the Koei Tecmo of Europe was like, oh, we're happy that they were honest. And someone, what is that confirmation? This is why this happened? And they're like, no, it's not anything to do with the treatment of women or whatever. We're happy they were honest that they have no intentions of bringing it over to the West. This caused quite the kerfuffle and all over Twitter and all over you know where. And
the internet, right?
The World Wide Web.
And so, yes, guys, Dead or Alive Xtreme 3 not coming to the West. Should anyone care?
No, here's why. The Facebook post that was posted in broken English, that really is just kind of an excuse to sort of brush away that question. Guess what? Koei Tecmo does not really care about the representation of women in video games. They still made Dead or Alive 5. There's still DLC that was released like a couple of months ago.
Wasn't it like Bikini something?
Yeah, it was just like Titty Bounce special, for $4.99. So they don't care.
Oh,
They're
like
still
that,
making this
$4.99.
game. They made it in Japan or whatever, and you can buy it there. The reason they're not bringing it over is because, one, the games suck.
Not going to sell very well.
They're not very good.
Two, they don't sell well. Sorry, Titty Bounce games are not. It's not a very popular genre. The Dead or Alive Extreme games. You have to think. Okay, think about Dead or Alive as a fighting game series. It's probably. Let's be nice and say it's the 5th most popular fighting game series.
I'll be honest, Dead or Alive 5 is one of the best in the series. It was very, very good.
But I was
actually
like,
very good.
as a franchise, regardless of
No,
quality,
not
it's
very
not
popular.
popular.
No.
It's not popular. It's not like, headlining Evo or something like that.
Weirdly enough, 2D fighting games are more popular than 3D fighting games now. Go figure. Wow.
I like
yeah,
that.
so it's not a popular series. So you have a spin-off of a series that already isn't very popular. It doesn't sell well. This is why... you didn't get Rumble Rose 3 in the West, and no one was raising a stink about that. But it's easy for them to say, instead of saying like, by the way, no one's going to buy this, it's not worth the money to bring it over.
But
it's
I'll
easy to
buy
say,
it.
oh, we care about women, but not really. Here's my Facebook broken English. No, it's bullshit, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. You weren't going to play that game. Don't act like you care. You don't care.
We're talking to Greg specifically.
Not Greg. But people.
Well, let's break it down here. Let's really think about this. So, Koei Tecmo, the president of Koei Tecmo, sat at his desk, logged on to Facebook, and was like, I'm going to check some of my pages, see how many likes they got. Oh, Dead or Alive game. No, guys, it's some community manager who has difficulty with English being like, oh, don't worry, guys, I'll field this one. What's the worst that could happen? Do you really think this is not an official statement from Koei Tecmo or the Dead or Alive team? It's some guy that takes care of their social media accounts.
It is literally a 22-year-old kid who gets paid like $25,000 a year.
It's not literally. Is it literally?
It probably is. I guarantee it. Like most people that run social media accounts, you're not talking to the president of whatever company you're mad at. You're talking to some guy who just graduated with an undergrad degree in English and didn't know what to do with his life, so now he does social media.
I think it's all the upsetting elements of this come from the fan base, because I actually read the response to that message, and a lot of them were actually pretty reasonable. Some of them threatening to, as one guy put it, knock out all the teeth of feminists, and
Jesus.
Just a lot.
That'd be a lot of teeth.
A lot of threats of towards the company, towards women, and now you can't see it. That's why I saved it. I wanted to copy and paste those messages because now it just sounds like hearsay. But unfortunately, I took the post down. Just threatening women in general.
And if you want it that bad, if you need little bouncy polygon titties in your life,
7325 on PlayAsia.com.
There you go. Go to PlayAsia. It's not like the game
videos,
was burned en masse in like a giant bonfire of feminism or something. Just get it from PlayAsia. It's not a big deal.
And also, guys, if you're wondering why the game won't sell, I'm sorry, not everyone's 14 anymore. Like this.
I was gonna say, 15-year-old me would love this.
I know, but
he loved Dead or Alive 3.
Because that's just it. When you think about it, like this is a game that A, most people won't buy, and B, would be too embarrassed to play in front of somebody.
Like, Mom, look at my new volleyball game.
They don't want to see it on the shelf. They don't want to download it. They have no interest in it. And if you do, you're probably no otaku. That's the reason that Xseed can release, Torture Girl Dungeon thing 2015 or whatever the hell it is.
On Vita?
And yeah, on Vita, because
On Vita.
because they're incredibly cheap to produce, whereas Koei Tecmo, believe it or not, they're not that big of a company, guys. I know you're thinking they have billions of dollars. They don't even have $1 billion, even in assets.
Not even $1 billion?
Not even close. Not even close. They're a very, very small video game developer. Well, but they have the Dynasty Wars. No.
Romancing Kingdoms?
And if you are really that concerned about where you're going to get your booby fix, I would recommend going to google.com and typing in the word boobs and just hitting image search and just kind of going with that.
Well,
I
You'll be
feel
okay.
lucky.
And I just say, I just stop and think about, like, were you really excited for this game? Were you really excited for this game before they said we're not going to bring it to the West? Really?
Well, it does make me a lot more excited when they say I can't have it, right?
I know. That's
exactly
And
it.
you know what? As someone who likes to sometimes collect games, I'm absolutely the same way. That's why I went out and spent a stupid amount of money on getting Killer 7 on the GameCube, because I was like, oh, wow, this is the better version. That's what everyone's saying. And it's more difficult and it's more expensive. Jesus, I had shipped overnight. How stupid am I? That's my stupid.
Bro, you got to get that Dolphin emulator. Not that we would encourage using emulators.
No, because I wanted to play it on original GameCube and everything, and I did on the live dive. You can check that out every single Wednesday at 7 Eastern, 6 Central.
Yeah.
What about this Wednesday?
YouTube.com/c/videogamesardumb/stream.
/Colin/Tanner/
Don't slash me, bro.
Okay, I got one.
So, Dead or Alive Xtreme 3, not coming to the West. Greg,
Boo-hoo.
thank you. Oh, and I'm not importing that
More
game.
about this later in the show.
I have too many other games to cover. I'm not going to, if it's not coming here, why would it? Whatever.
Because you like volleyball games.
Greg, thank you for the email. Now we have the next one from Twitter. It's from @TheRequiem95, a.k.a. Blake from Sega Nerds. I guess he was just on the Sega Nerd cast. I didn't listen to the episode yet, but I will, Blake. Promise. I know. He has a very interesting question about Nintendo. @PRESSURECAST Pod, do you think Nintendo will ever make a complete edition of Hyrule Warriors and Smash Brothers on Wii U, which include all DLC?
Like a Game of the Year edition or something like that?
Exactly.
Year pass.
Justin, what do you say? Will Nintendo re-release Smash Brothers with all the DLC? Because we know that Cloud's coming. We know all these characters.
Nope, they're not going to do it.
Would you buy it?
No, I don't have a Wii.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I already have regular Smash Brothers, so I probably wouldn't double dip on that. I don't think they're going to, and the only reason why is because in previous console generations, they always had like greatest hits games and stuff like that, but you have to realize that at this point in the Wii U's lifespan, they're beyond like introducing a greatest hits sub-label, so I don't think they're going to bother to do it.
Now, you might be saying, why are we still talking about this? Because this is actually a more interesting question if you really take it a little bit deeper.
Okay.
The Ultimate Edition of Smash Brothers and Hyrule Warriors could sell quite well on something people actually buy, like
PlayStation 3?
the NX.
Oh, the NX.
No.
Now, if you look at what happened with PlayStation 3, it sold pretty well, but it matched the Xbox 360, but a lot of people didn't buy the games that were famous on there, such as the Uncharted series, and, even The Last of Us didn't do gangbusters, if you think about the overall scheme of things. And so Sony has made a sort of a tradition now on the PlayStation 4 of re-releasing PlayStation 3 games on the PlayStation 4. Let's think about this for a minute now. What if the NX, they want it to be a little bit more popular? Let's say it does sell well. What are the chances of Smash Brothers for Wii U just being ported over? Because Sakurai spent a long time on this game. Sakurai. And he's like, I don't want to make any more of these, so he's just working on DLC. Could you imagine a world where they port over these Wii U exclusives over to the NX?
Yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense, especially because for console launches specifically, this is a very popular thing, especially with third-party games.
Launching it with the Smash Brothers.
Yeah, if you and even if it's an old Smash Brothers, if you launch with Smash Brothers and with Hyrule Warriors or something, that would be huge.
Mario Party 9.
I could also see them maybe doing like a digital bundle, like the Smash Brothers Ultimate Digital Bundle or something like that on the marketplace. But really, Nintendo, if you're listening, and I know you're listening out there,
Reggie's just like writing down everything.
Reg,
It's
Like
like,
Mario
Reg.
Party 9. Good
Mario Party
idea.
9. We got to re-release Mario Party 9.
get out your moleskin notebook, Reg. Write this down, please, for the love of God. Change the Virtual Console to a Netflix-like subscription service
thank God.
that I will pay $5, $10, $15 a month for, and just play the shit out of old video games. Please let me do that.
Make it like PlayStation Plus. And it's just like, if you didn't get it on that month, you don't get it again. That's obviously an idea that, and of course Nintendo will never copy exactly what somebody else does.
Just all you need, hybrid situation, Netflix and PlayStation Plus, and you will sell a bajillion consoles because every old motherfucker like me and Colin and Justin out
Not
there
old.
will go and buy shit. You are almost 30, you son of a bitch. Don't you lie.
If you look at Nintendo right now, they are experimenting with remasters. Look at what they're doing with Twilight Princess. Look what they did with, Ocarina of Time 3D. Look at what they did with
Mario 64.
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker. I couldn't think of Wind Waker for some reason. Nintendo has a history of remastering games. Just they all happen to be Zelda games, which is okay, whatever. But I could see if the NX is going to be that hybrid portable and home console, I could definitely see them trying to bring over Smash Brothers because they already have that split where it's Smash for Wii U and Smash for 3DS. I guess that would actually be all for that. Just because I wish people would play Bayonetta 2. I'd love to see Bayonetta 2 on another system, which is the best game of 2014. Deal with it. Hashtag deal with it. Hashtag deal with it. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I guess
Good.
good. Thank you.
I want to play
is that a
Bayonetta 2. I
meme?
do.
Huh?
Nothing. Let's keep going.
Fantastic. Blake, thank you for the tweet. Remember, pressurecast@gmail.com, at pressurecastpod, 954-947-7377. You can also find all of those links and phone numbers in the description of this podcast and on this YouTube page. So please email, call, and tweet. Oh, no. Here it comes. Kabloom! That's right. It's time for the earth-shattering news. I'm going to break it down for you guys. This week, there's a lot of interesting stories. Really interesting stories. None of them are earth-shattering. That's just it. There's no headline. There's really no headline this week beyond Dead or Alive. That tells you it's a slow news week when people are mad about Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball 3 not coming out to the United States. That's But there was one small story that I thought was a little bit noteworthy and I wanted to bring up.
The Notebook.
Yeah, The Notebook. It's such a sad story.
Who loves Nicholas Sparks, this guy?
They're just laying in the streets. That's so romantic. So, the PSP. Stay with me, guys.
Biggest news in gaming this week. And the PSP.
Sony has announced that starting March 31st, 2016, both the PlayStation Store for the PSP and the UMD Passport service for the Vita, which allowed you to take your old PSP games, you mailed it in or something in Japan, and then they would give you digital versions of a select number of games, are being retired. They're being ended. The PSP hasn't had a game released since this year, actually. They had a game released, which most people played on their Vitas. And now the PSP store altogether is being shut down for the PSP, effectively ending the PSP. They stopped manufacturing PSPs last year, and now the store is going away. Sony's very first handheld is over, starting on April 1st. April Fool's Day, as it were.
It's no April Fool's joke.
No one's going to believe this.
PSP. There's your headline. Thank you.
R.I.P. PSP. Fantastic. Guys, because it's a little bit slower of a news week, the PSP, it's over. Now that it's all done, can we look back and maybe say that the PSP is one of the most important consumer electronics of this past 15 years?
Thanks for the memories, PSP.
Yeah, I'd say it's important because I think it made emulation mainstream.
UMD videos, man.
Seriously. It really did, honestly, because before emulation was kind of this nebulous thing where you would go to shady ass websites and download stuff, and now, but you never had that home console experience in any way, shape, or form. And
the original Xbox, if you had the copy of Splinter Cell and memory cards, and Ethernet cables.
Dreamcast,
but the
right?
PSP made it
Dreamcast.
so
Dreamcast.
easy to do. It was just a zero step, but
Zero
thing.
sum.
Drag file, open file.
That was it. It was honestly I have one of those R4 cards for the original DS, and I thought messing around. Allegedly. Not that I would. Sorry, Nintendo. Reggie, I know you're listening. Sorry, Reg.
He's just scribbling out all your ideas now.
Oh, your ideas are dumb.
No Mario
Steve
Party
doesn't
9.
like. But yeah, I thought it was.
You wrote down PSP.
it was just as easy to do that kind of stuff on a PSP, if not easier than it was for that. So yeah, I think it brought old games and the concept of emulation and ROM hacks to a broader audience.
I really think if you look at, though, for what that product was when it was released in 2004, I want to say, maybe early 2005 in the West, but Nintendo was doing the DS and Sony did the PSP, and those two handhelds together are so revolutionary. And the funny thing is, that people looked at it as two different directions: touchscreen or really high-end electronics. And the answer is both, because when I look at the modern day smartphone with its touchscreen, with its glossy, huge pixel depth, I go, wow. Both of those handhelds were absolutely ahead of their time, and they were absolutely correct, because the PSP especially, when you look at all the options it had on there. Now, of course, iPods existed, but you could put your music library on there, and people were buying UMDs of Spider-Man 2, which came with the system, and watching it on that screen for its time. Unbelievable. Now you go back and you look at that screen, and it's like, wow, this could shatter into a million pieces at the drop of a hair. But I really think the PSP really brought the idea of having really incredible looking graphics, a fantastic screen, in the palm of your hand. It was such an original idea, and phones really weren't doing that. The closest thing would be like a Sidekick 2, and PSP blew that out of the water.
Yeah.
And I really think it paved the way. I think it really communicated, because the PSP actually did quite well. A lot of people don't like to acknowledge that, and yes, the software sales definitely
UMD
suffered.
movies definitely helped, right?
Those movies, those UMD.
Love those UMDs.
People used to buy the crap out of those.
If you want to watch Lords of Dogtown, there's only one place to go, and that's your fucking PSP.
Special features?
I think that really influenced Apple. I'm not kidding. When I look at the original PSP and looking at how many years ahead of the time it was from the iPhone, which I think it was like 3 years, because that was 2007, I think it really communicated what the audience was ready for, what they were excited about. Even if they didn't want to play video games on it, they went, that looks really cool.
Steve Jobs is probably playing the PSP.
Yeah, I think the PSP does a really good job of sort of filling in that gap between dedicated handheld console and dedicated home console, because it sort of did a little bit of both. Even if you look at the software that was released on it, so things like that third Parasite Eve game, what was it called, the Third Birthday or something?
Birthday.
Yeah, so just like weird little games like that wouldn't have existed on a home console, but were clearly more powerful than something that you would see on like the DS or something. So yeah, just like a lot of really neat games that came out for that system, and a lot of cool features that, like you said, have been sort of adopted into the tablet smartphone realm.
And in a funny way, the PSP is almost almost the death of Japanese development on home consoles, because the PSP sold so well in Japan, especially because of Monster Hunter, which originally was on home consoles with the PS2, funny enough. And actually there was a Japanese version on the Xbox, I just found out.
Oh, that's weird.
I know, it's really strange. But when you look at the PSP and what it did for Japanese developers, suddenly you saw Square Enix maybe not putting out as much effort on the home consoles, but they were releasing just so many games on there. When you look at what just all the JRPGs, all the visual novels, all of the efforts that Capcom put into the PSP, lots of games we never even got. And even though it wasn't runaway success over here in Japan, the PSP has been thriving. It's still alive, to the point where Sony, I think that's why Sony's shutting it off, is like, we just don't want people playing on the PSP anymore. Please buy the Vita, which it is doing quite well. But the majority of games that people played on their Vita were PSP games, specifically Monster Hunter Tri. So the PSP, I don't think it's just this moment in time where it's signifying so many different changes, where we're going to go in technology for portables, and where phones are going to go, even though it wasn't a phone, and where the Japanese market was going to go, more mobile, and where just developers from Japan were going to go. It's so strange. Even though the DS would outsell it, I feel like the PSP is more influential. It's funny, not to undermine the DS, incredibly important system.
Totally.
So I don't know. It's over, guys. Favorite? Do you guys even have favorite PSP game?
Luminous?
Yeah, what? Yeah, go for it. Luminous was a fantastic launch
Or is it
title.
Lumines?
Lumines.
It's Mr. Lumines.
That was a fun game. I like Meteos just as much, though.
Yeah,
Meteos
Meteos
was
that was a
awesome.
great puzzle season. Luminous is better than Meteos, though. That's for sure.
I like Meteos a lot.
That's weird.
They're both good.
It's my show.
You can pick.
My favorite game on the PSP was every single Super NES game. At my fingertips.
So you're gonna, you know what? That's an honest to God. That's a fair answer. That's an interesting perspective. Something I wouldn't have gone for. But yeah,
You would have went for that off there. You should hear this guy off there. He's a real monster.
We're gonna
slave driver.
Guys, we're gonna steal all the games. Steal all the games.
Like, that anti-piracy ad where they're like, you wouldn't steal a car, would you? And I'm like, oh, I would.
I was playing stolen games
did.
on my stolen PSP and a stolen car.
Yeah, maybe you've seen the Nicolas Cage film Gone in
Cars.
60 Seconds. That's about me stealing video games and cars and other stuff.
Well, it was an NES ROM. It didn't take that
I thought you were
long.
going to say
Candy from Babies.
Bring out the dead.
If I can just name drop
Whatever
some
that's
PSP
called.
games that are really, really cool. Obviously, Peace Walker, which is now available, on home consoles through the HD collection, the Metal Gear Solid game, which would influence Phantom Pain. Also, just real quick, Pursuit Force.
Metal Gear Acid, was that on there?
Metal Gear Acid is fantastic. A card-based combat game around Metal Gear, which is amazing because you'll pick up cards for like, Psycho Mantis. You'll actually be using cutscenes from the other games. You'll actually have cutscenes play when you drop your cards. Of course, it's a Metal Gear game. Pursuit Force from Sega, which involved you just jumping from car to car to catch up to another car. Imagine Outrun meets, God, I don't even know, like a third-person shooter where it's always on cars. So you jump on top of the car, you shoot the drivers, you steal the car, which is faster, so you can drive up to the next car, jump on that car, shoot those guys. Really, really fun game. Obviously, the best version of Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions, is also available on there. Can't say enough good about that. Just so many great PSP games. Ape Escape definitely had a few stints in there that were quite good. Just PSP, There we go. 30 minutes in the show, and we're all done talking about PSP. It's a slow week. But that doesn't mean that things aren't going to speed up.
That's right, baby.
Ooh, the train's coming.
Get on the train, guys.
Hurry up, guys. I forgot my stuff again.
Don't worry about it.
I gotta go home.
Don't relax, man. It's all good because we're on the hype train. That's right. Feel the PR vibrations as we barrel towards video game satisfaction station on the hype train. This is the part of the show where we talk about all the upcoming games that you're going to be playing, all the updates to games, all these things that will help you go to GameStop and spend all your money so you end up broke on the street and a sad pile of day one DLC. Starting off with...
Come on, baby. Let's hear about it.
Rainbow Six Siege will be released on Tuesday. That's not really news per se. However, there was a beta that was supposed to be out a few days ago. It is available right now. But at the last second, Ubisoft, before launching the beta, had to delay it due to... we are currently seeing issues with matchmaking times and disconnections on...
Uplay?
The Vita.
all platforms.
Yeah,
All
because
platforms.
Uplay's garbage.
All platforms. We are confident the game will work as intended since the known issue will be fixed soon. Therefore, the launch will not be impacted by this issue. Why are we bringing this up? Why are we opening this up with a news story about a beta? Because how much you want to bet there's going to be some real fucked up issues come Tuesday night?
I guarantee it, because when was the last time they launched a game with a multiplayer component that Uplay didn't fuck up?
Oh, the crew, dude.
The crew. The crew.
I mean,
too.
even games that like aren't multiplayer focused, like Far Cry 4 had Uplay issues. What is it? Hacky McHacker. Watch Dogs.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs. Right.
Yeah. Watch Dogs had tons of Uplay issues. Like, they can't launch a game. I haven't played a lot of the Assassin's Creed stuff, but I guarantee that in the last 2 to 3 years they've had a ton of Uplay issues.
Not so much with the most recent one, but definitely Uplay issues on Unity, ironically. So
yeah, it's just, I'm not surprised.
So let's so Wednesday morning, the day after launch, so hopefully they'll have everything fixed up. What is the likelihood that there will still be major issues? When I mean major issues, I mean it's very, very difficult for the majority of players to connect to a game in 10 minutes or less.
I would say save yourself some time and just write that segment of the podcast tomorrow. I mean,
Okay, I'll just record it in advance.
Might as well write it in
Let's just
advance.
record it right
Let's just
now.
record it right now.
Can you believe that? I mean, they had issues with the beta and they still didn't fix it.
I know, it's so dumb, and it's so indicative of their business practices and the fact that they don't care enough about Uplay and to really address these issues. It's just another way of throwing DRM.
Can I
into
weigh in
games.
here, guys?
Justin,
Sure,
I know
go
that
ahead,
you bought
Justin.
a few copies for
Yeah,
your
I got a few
friends.
copies for my friends because these were our favorite games. And when we're playing them, can't get online together. That's rough.
Especially a game like that emphasizes multiplayer so much.
And I'm a patient guy. I can wait for the matchmaking thing,
And
but
the
not
glitches,
10 minutes.
The glitches
What am I
are
going
weird
to do?
too. Once you get into a game, it seems like every time I throw a grenade, it's just a player model glitching out and getting stuck in a Christ pose.
I had the
it's weird.
opposite.
And they blow up on me.
I was doing really good, but I think all the other players were having bad connection issues. I was dominating, but it seemed off, man.
Yeah,
You're
like
always
everybody was
telling me
just
that.
like teleporting around because of the lag. It was horrible.
Okay, guys, we'll put that in next week's show. Let's make sure.
good.
All right, if you're listening to this, it was an accident. Okay, Black Friday. It's usually when companies go out of the red and into the black. Unfortunately, for PlayStation Network, that black was the black of night. As
Blackout.
PlayStation Network went down hard on Friday. I couldn't connect. You couldn't connect. Nobody could connect because their PlayStation Network sales just brought the servers down to their knees. And it actually resulted in people not being able to connect through matchmaking on Call of Duty and Destiny. That's how bad it was.
What about all the deals, man?
There were some good deals. It was like 50% off Witcher 3 and a few other games. you know.
But you couldn't do
Didn't
it.
this happen last year on Christmas too? Oh, that was the Lizard Squad.
Yeah, Christmas 2. Because we're extending Christmas, now we have Christmas 2.
January
Christmas
1st.
No, it just seems like every time I wanna do a PlayStation thing on the internet, I can't.
Yeah.
I just want to do PlayStation things, Sony.
PlayStation.
Just play single player.
Yeah, no.
Offline.
Yeah.
Toot, motherfucker.
Doot, doot. Okay, so remote play. We all love remote play on our PlayStation 4s because it allows us to play on our Vitas when we don't feel like using up the big TV. It actually projects the game directly to your Vita or your PlayStation TV, and you can have it streamed directly there. How fantastic is that? But what if it was brought to the PC? Well, Twisted, they are a developer, decided to answer that call by creating the Remote Play PC client. They announced and released it in the same week for $10. It was released on November 25th.
Call of Duty.
Apparently, the guy wants to charge because he wants to make it a full-time job, and he wants to make sure that you can, extend the abilities of it, maybe create more features. Guys, this is not an official remote play feature.
Sounds illegal.
And he's also charging $10 for it. What's the likelihood of cease and desist / lawsuit in the next week?
It's already in the mail.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Lawyers are already on the way.
You can't. That's got to be a terms of service violation at the very least. That's not a thing you can do. I'm glad that he did it.
He probably
'cause
just
now it's
clicked
gonna
agree. He didn't read the thing.
We're gonna be pretty busy next month. We better record that segment right now too.
Okay.
He should have known it was gonna happen. I mean, getting sued for over $45,000 that sucks, but that's just pennies upon pennies. They could have sued him for millions for
But
this.
the-
You know, I
number of
will say it's
lawsuits
good
is
though
what
because
I'm
I think this
surprised
is
about.
going to really push Sony to develop something similar themselves. So
Doot, doot. Shuhei Yoshida actually was on Twitter and said this. Some people asked if we plan to provide remote play function to PC, and yes, we are indeed working on an official application for PC / Mac.
Whoa.
I know, there you go. Oh,
Um,
and smiley face. He did the colon and the D, so that's like a big.
Is it a
open-
winking smiley face or just a regular smiley face?
Just an
Okay.
honest to goodness smiley face. No suggestions
No
of
sin-
innuendos or anything like that. It's very
Sincere,
respectful.
very sincere.
I'm actually kind of pumped for this. Just
Pump
to
for what?
be able to play your PlayStation 4 games on your PC. That'd be super cool. It's it's streaming. It's not downloading or anything like that. Because I imagine that the PC is far more capable than the PlayStation TV or a Vita. And having the official support. That or Sony's just cranking this out so that they have the ability to create a cease and desist to this other guy. Like just crank out some garbage that nobody wants. Just
Crank
be
it.
like, hey, you can't do that
Yeah.
anymore.
that's also a possibility. But let's look on the bright side, Colin. Come on.
All right,
Smiley face.
That's gonna be the new segment. We're going to the bright side.
Bright side of town.
And then it's followed by Dark Side at 9 p.m. Doot doot. Demon's Souls. Demon's Souls was a game that was released on the PlayStation 3. It was a Sony exclusive from Software. And Sony said, that's okay. You guys, we don't need any more of these. Go do whatever you want. And then they created Dark Souls for all consoles and PC and made lots of money. And now that series is famous. There's a good reason Sony was like, hey, want to make Bloodborne exclusive? They just threw money right at them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on Twitter, the Bloodborne Twitter posted a photo showing all of the versions of Bloodborne, the latest old Hunters, an art book, and the original version of Bloodborne, and a copy of Demon's Souls.
Huh.
Now, knowing the series of how From Software operates, they're incredibly cryptic. Do you think that we will actually see a Demon's Souls remaster on the PlayStation 4? And more importantly, do you want to play it?
I think that I could see them doing it just because the series has become so popular. It makes sense. I think it'd be an easy remaster job.
Yeah.
I don't want to play it because I played through it once on the PS3 and that's enough.
It was a nightmare.
Like Dark Souls is difficult, but it's intriguing and I felt compelled to revisit it a few times. Whereas Demon's Souls is so just like fucking
Unforgiving,
brutal and unforgiving and just unfair and mean. Once is enough.
Justin, you played quite a bit of it as well. Any interest in... do you think that they will
I do want to
release
see the
this?
remastered graphics. Some of those bosses look pretty cool and terrifying.
Mhm.
The
The
giant
art style-
manta ray was awesome.
But, I mean, did you have any desire to go back?
Nah.
What if you never played it before? Would you encourage someone to play it?
Yeah, it was fun. If you like those games, I would say go back and revisit it.
Probably the most difficult out of the entire series, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think of it this way.
Maybe Dark Souls 2.
Let's pretend, Colin, that you got into a boxing match with, I don't know. Mike Tyson circa 1991.
Let's not pretend. Let's get a time machine. Let's do this.
Let's do it. Okay, we're going to do it.
Okay,
now,
there's
let's,
Mike.
let's say that somehow, by the grace of God, you were somehow able to, even though you got the shit kicked out of you, you beat Mike Tyson.
Hold on. Yeah, I think I do okay. All right. I'm just saying.
It's kind of similar to the Aaron Carter song, That's How I Beat Shaq, but this is how Colin beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Now, even if you won, you got the shit kicked out of you. Would you want to fight him again? If they were like, hey, best 2 out of 3.
I see where you're going with this.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
No best
Wait,
2 out of
let's
3.
say there's a time machine and you're able to just keep starting. Like, oh, I know he's going to throw that right jab right away. I'm going to dodge that one.
Now
So
we're getting too deep into the metaphor.
What you're
Alright,
saying
sorry,
is you
take
want
it
to
too
go
far.
back in time to play Demon's Souls when it came out.
No, I already played it when it came out. No,
Wait.
I'm done. I'm done.
He's saying
No
he wants
more.
you to fight Mike Tyson now.
I've never played Mike Tyson now, but that sounds like a good game.
No, you know how he is now, like regular Mike Tyson.
with a face
right now.
tattoo and a beer belly.
Doot doot. Pro Evolution Soccer 2016 is one of the best games of the year if you're into soccer. There's no denying it. And it,
Only
with
if you're
the
into
footy.
soccer, though.
and it really put FIFA, back on its
the
back
map.
foot. It's really impressive how good that game is. But now we have to ask ourselves the question, what if you have a slight interest, but you don't want to shell out $60 for it? Well, Konami has the answer, as they've announced that there's going to be a free-to-play version of Pro Evolution Soccer for the PlayStation 3, yet rumors circulated that it was going to be coming to the PlayStation 4. Konami has in fact revealed December 8th, PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, Pro Evolution Soccer 2016 free-to-play. You only get about 7 teams. There's some limited modes, but you still get a training mode, and there's even online play. Guys, free-to-play Pro Evolution Soccer. Do you plan on playing it?
Yeah, I do actually. I'm gonna play that.
I would do it if I could play the franchise mode, because whenever I play sports, I only do franchise modes.
Same here. I love
So
franchise
if
modes.
that, which is weird. No,
I
seriously.
believe
Like,
that's called My Club, and I think that is going to be available in there.
oh, okay, then yeah, I'll definitely play it. Because like I don't
Spike Lee.
even sports I don't care about. I love franchise mode. I love micromanaging and doing shady trades and fucking with salary caps.
So, Pro Evolution Soccer 2017, directed by Spike Lee. Good idea or not?
Probably a bad idea. Too much drinking. That guy's not your friend.
Yeah, no, that's going to be in the trailer. What are you doing out there? You're not even playing footy. That man over there, he's not your friend.
Hey.
Hey, did I ever tell you the story of left foot, right foot? The left foot is love. It kicks the ball into
Oh,
the goal.
good,
The
no.
right foot is hate. It trips the other team.
How many people will even
That was really good. If you
How
got
many
that
people
reference.
will even get that reference?
Dude, that is so next
What?
level. I'm gonna pat myself on the back.
Doot doot. PlayStation
Sweet.
Plus gives you free games that you pay for. Work that one out. But we have our PlayStation Plus games of December.
Yes, let's hear him.
On the PlayStation 3, there is Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which of course was the standalone expansion pack for Far Cry 3 that everybody seemed to love except for those that played it. Just saying, the stealth in that game, it's so boring. Over on the PlayStation Vita, Freedom Wars, one of the best PlayStation Vita exclusives, now available for free next month.
Excited.
Gauntlet Slayer Edition on the PlayStation 4, which I played, and man, that game sucks. King's Quest Chapter 1, A Night to Remember. This is a episodic adventure game. This is only the first chapter, but fear not, this is the only chapter currently available, as Episode 2 is going to be released at some point in 2016.
Not into it.
Rocket Birds Hard Boiled Chicken for the PlayStation Vita.
Me and Colin are gonna play that against each other.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah, let's do it.
See if you want it.
And SSX 3 on the PlayStation 3.
I'm mad. It's only on 3. I want it on 4. I love
want
those
tricky.
games.
I want tricky. Give me
Aw,
tricky.
It's tricky to rock around and rock around and rock around. It's tricky.
Listen. I met
tricky.
this little girlie. Her hair was kind of curly. Went to her house to bust her out. I had to leave real early. These girls are kind of sleazy. All they just say is please me or spend some time to rock a rhyme. I say it's not that easy. You know what I mean?
Totally, I get it.
Makes sense to me.
This is Xbox Games with Gold. Here's what you're going to get. From December 1st to December 31st, The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, which is actually kind of like a Diablo-type game. Looks kind of interesting.
I'll just play Diablo.
Thief, from December 16th to January 15th. I played Thief on the Xbox One. That game is really sad. It's kind of embarrassingly bad in a lot of ways. I'm still rhyming. Xbox
It's
360.
embarrassingly bad.
Castle Storm from December 1st to 15th, Sacred 3 December 16th to 31st, and an extra bonus game, Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising from December 16th to 31st. Worth noting that all of these games that are on the 360 are backwards compatible with the Xbox One, as that is what they do moving forward.
We gotta move forward.
Doot doot! Xbox One. It has Xbox 360 backwards compatibility, and the list is going to keep on growing. But what about the original Xbox? Well, the Xbox engineer boss, Mike Ybarra, had this to say: "Nothing's impossible. Right now, the focus is making Xbox 360 games work. That's certainly very challenging. Getting Xbox 360 games to work was incredibly challenging and really a multi-year engineering commitment. Going all the way back to the original would certainly challenge the team. Notice how many times it says challenge? Guys, do you have a particular original Xbox game you want to see on the Xbox One?
Critical Depth.
I got two.
Critical Depth? What is
Critical
that?
Depth.
It was a crappy Twisted Metal underwater game.
Oh,
I don't think that's what... I think it's Crimson Sea, dude.
Crimson Skies
Crimson
is an
Skies
airplane
is a-
game, and that's really fun. I would
Yeah.
play that.
I thought... Yeah, no, Critical Depth was on the original PlayStation 1, dude.
Oh, either way, it was bad.
That's the one with the shark submarine, right?
Sorry, guys.
I don't know.
Crimson Sea was a launch title, though.
That might be the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I got two that I want really
Okay.
bad. I want Panzer Dragoon Orta.
Yeah. Oh, baby.
I thought you were going to give some joke answers.
No,
man.
and the other one that I want is
Project Silvergun. What is that one called?
These are literally the two original Xbox games that I still own. The other one is it's a double pack that has a Sega Rally GT and Jet Set Radio Future. Yeah. Boom.
I actually still have my copy of Jet Set Radio Future, so I might just bust that out one of these weeks.
Was that on Dreamcast too, or no?
No, just
Oh,
the
that's
original
the original.
Jet Set Radio. This was a exclusive for the original Xbox, which was released alongside the S controller in Japan. That's a true story. Future's not as good as the original one, but it's still really, really
The
interesting.
past is always better than the future.
I would love to see them port over those Fusion Frenzy games just because they're so weird.
Yeah, those are weird.
I just want to see them. I just
Oh my
want to play
God.
those again.
I can't stop thinking about Panzer Dragoon Orta now. It's so good. Like if you,
just
like
named
Sin and
Sega
Punishment
games.
or anything.
You
like
realize
yeah.
that? You named just Sega games.
I did name
Okay,
Sega
then
games,
Shenmue
whatever.
2. Give me some
Yeah,
Shenmue
Shenmue
2.
2, yeah, of
That's
course.
re-release that. Why not? Re-release all of it.
Give me the Halos.
Oh,
shit.
Don't give me the
Jesus.
Halos.
Original Ninja Gaiden.
It is worth pointing out that the original Halo is on the Master Chief Collection. So even though it's the version that was released on 360, so technically there is a original Xbox game on there. And Grabbed by the Ghoulies was released on the Rare Replay, but they rebuilt that from the ground up. So I guess there really isn't an original Xbox game. Every opportunity they've had to re-release an original Xbox game, they've recoded it. So I think this is not going to happen at all.
No, because there's nothing that good. The other thing I want to play too is
I agree with Steve.
you don't
you don't think Beatdown was very good? The first-person fighting game from Namco,
or what's the
Correct.
Gladiator was all right.
I don't like that Riddick game is on there, but you couldn't get the license to re-release that, so I don't know what you do.
They re-released that in the 360.
Oh,
Then,
Butcher
yeah,
Bay,
there you go.
Butcher
See,
Bay,
everything that's been, I don't know.
I mean, Stranger's Wrath was on the top of my list, but that's already been re-released.
It's been re-released. See, there's nothing out there.
What's that sport game? It was like a soccer game. It was like a rugby game where it had like brutal moves and it took
Blast
place in-
Radius?
I don't remember.
There's one game that I really want to play because I never got to play it, and I think it started its life as a spiritual successor to the Bushido Blade series, if I'm not mistaken.
Genji? Was it Genji?
No, Genji's shitty, but that's also on PS2.
Kabuki.
Yeah, Kabuki.
That game's
Kabuki.
awful.
I know, and I've never gotten a chance to play it, but like it's one of those things that like people talk about in hushed tones, and I want to play it really bad.
What's that? What was the name of that game? It's the guy that he's all white and it's like something in the 99 Dragons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The game's awful.
Okaji? No.
Yeah, something like that. No, you're
No,
close.
Okaji the Shadow King is a different game, but
Oh,
Okaji's
Drake
terrible.
and the 99 Dragons, isn't that it?
Yeah, Drake and the 99 Dragons, which that
Drake.
name gets better every year. There's those Okami something or else. There's two games. They're like Ogagi or whatever that take place in Japanese folklore where you're demons fighting demons. Super good games. Actually, there's a lot on the original Xbox, so go buy a modded one.
I want to play Kabuki.
Doot doot. That's Wii U gamepads are only come. Can we try?
Wii U
Our
gamepads
only come when you
are
rub them the
only
right
come.
way.
Wii U gamepads are only come with a Wii U system. You cannot buy them separately. However, recently Nintendo announced they will be releasing them separately in Japan only. And I don't know, there's no way you can have two of those things even functioning on a
No.
single Wii U. So what is the likelihood that this is just some sort of fire sale? Like, we're not making any more Wii U's. We just have gamepads. We're working on NX. Stop making these.
Yeah, I guarantee a couple of things. One, I guarantee they're going to be all white because those are like associated with the cheap, no memory on the inside, or no hard drive on the inside Wii U. Because doesn't that one only have like an 8 gigabyte hard drive
Has
or
8
something?
gigs.
Yeah, which no, they're not selling those anymore. So I guarantee they're all going to be white, and there's no reason to buy one because if you were to smash your Wii U controller like tomorrow, you can still send it to Nintendo and they'll sell you a new one. But you can't play any games with two of these. So the only people that are going to buy them are people who want to
Greedy bastards.
No, people who want to like hack it to do
Why are they
shit.
greedy, Justin?
Give me 2 of them. I only need 1.
Damn, son.
Well, like, can you think of a functional reason why you would need a second?
You gotta get close to the microphone. It's okay.
Is that why you get a second one? Because you gotta get
Why?
closer?
Yeah. Why do you need to be like functionally? Why do you? Need
there's no function. That's all. That's all about it.
Form is better than function.
Doot doot. Bad news for Steve. AMD has revealed that they will be dropping support for all of the non-GCN based cards. So basically, almost all the cards they released before 2013 will no longer have support. According to AMD, for users passionate about gaming, you may wish to consider upgrading to a modern GPU. Blah, 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 blah. I love that. I love that when they're just like, you should probably just buy a new one.
Yeah, that's not. Do they have a list of the ones that won't be supported? Maybe somewhere I can look it up.
Radeon HD 7000 and 76,000, 5,000.
Oh wait, 7,000 to 76. I'm good then, because mine's like a 78. Yes, made the cut.
We'll see.
Way to go, Steve.
We'll see. Okay.
Another big win for Steve.
Doot doot. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Interesting game.
Spoiler alert.
Has some no spoiler alerts. There's some pretty interesting things about this game. And one of them has been an event that people figured out was happening. I don't know how people even figured out the event was happening, and they kept pestering Konami, and then they're like, okay, fine, we really have this event going on. A secret online event. What could it possibly mean? It is the nuclear disarmament event. Yes, here's what you have to do. If you have any nuclear weapons, you have to get rid of them. All right? And here's the deal. Everyone on the server of that particular platform, so if you're on PlayStation 4, it's PlayStation 4, PS3, 360, 360, PC, you have to get rid of all your nuclear weapons to launch the event. Every user has to get rid of their nuclear weapons.
That's not gonna happen.
Then they're never gonna get it. I love Kojima's weirdness. He's like, people say that he doesn't have any message behind his games. There's your message right there. He's like, you cannot play the game until you get rid of your nuclear weapons. Like, he's like, I'm not celebrating that shit. Because that's the thing. People always mistake that he likes war, but in actuality, he's really pacifistic. That's why you're always encouraged to use stealth and not hurt people in those games. So we have no idea what the event is. And that's it. We have to wait for everyone. Everyone has to get rid of their nuclear weapons.
Never gonna happen.
Amazing.
Just for the sake of trolling, there's gonna be one person at least.
Do you build a nuclear weapon in that?
You can later on. You develop all sorts of weapons. You also have to be past mission 31. And yes. Amazing. Doot doot. Speaking of nuclear, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 had a nuclear reception. Nuclear
Stop
heat.
saying it like that.
nuclear problems.
Nuclear.
But they have released a 7.8 gigabyte patch for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, which just has a bunch of different options. It fixed networking and grinding, and a lot of them are just like, have access to free skate from mission, have access to free skate from co-op missions, like lots of issues from there.
Did they patch it so it doesn't look like a PS2 game?
Are you going to buy this one? It's like $5.
Yes.
I knew it.
It's funny. Same reason why I
Justin, will you buy it? We can play online together.
Nope.
Why not?
I will buy it when it's
Don't want
$5.
it.
It's the same reason why I bought Goat Simulator for $2. Like, it's funny.
Nah, Goat Simulator's a pretty fun game.
It is, especially with the various add-ons that they've created.
Justin, favorite
yes.
song from any Tony Hawk game ever?
Let's see.
Guerrilla Radio, interesting choice. Just
No, not Guerrilla Radio. Not at all. Man, something from Tony Hawk 2, definitely. Why can't I remember any of these songs?
What about Melancholy?
Alien Ant Farm?
Millencolin.
Melancholy, you like that band?
What's the Millencolin? Just because they have your name in the
Actually,
name.
I really like. They had the song "No Cigar."
Oh yeah, that's.
I actually bought their album. They're really good. I don't know. Doot doot. Oh, I'm sorry. Doot doot. Gotta do the gesture. There is going to be a brand new mode introduced into Star Wars Battlefront. It is called Turning Point, and basically it involves the rebels fighting against the Empire and trying to locate bases that they take over.
Isn't that Star Wars
Sounds
Battlefront?
exactly the same.
But as far as I know, the Empire cannot regain the bases that they lose. So the goal is to just prevent them from getting all of the bases, which is only a slight twist on it, but it sounds pretty interesting. Because that means that everyone will be defending a singular point by the end of it, making it more challenging for the rebels.
Huh.
So, there you go.
That's video games.
And also, I think we should mention that Battlefront mod that was released earlier this week that requires the beefiest of PCs. I'm not sure if it's the guy, Martin Bergman. I don't know if he was behind the Ice mod or if he was behind another Grand Theft Auto 5 mod. that was supposed to make the game look more realistic and always did. Have you seen this Battlefront mod?
Yeah, it looks really good.
I haven't seen it. Oh.
You really haven't?
No, I'll go to google.com and look at it though.
Dude,
It's
okay.
photorealistic.
It's
pretty crazy.
Jesus.
Well, it's realistic in the sense that it looks like people wearing cheap suits in the middle of a real desert. You know, it's amazing.
Which is what Star Wars is.
Well, and it's also worth pointing out that DICE really did deliver on the graphics there. You could say that's like the best.
The Dice Man.
Yeah, you can't say anything about the art direction, but it is the best game of the best graphics of the year, bar none. Like, there's only a few other games that you can really compare it to. But, you know.
I thought somebody was going to do Andrew Dice Clay there, but I couldn't think of one.
Hickory dickory
There.
dock. Why is that everything there? Okay, whatever. Doot doot. Modders not only have fixed Star Wars Battlefront to make it look pretty, some people are taking older games. There's no segue for this. Someone is remaking Fallout 1 and Fallout New Vegas.
I'm super excited.
They're taking all the old voice acting from Fallout 1 and imposing it on 3D models. They have every intention of bringing all the hardcore elements of New Vegas, and they're going to bring it into the story of Fallout 1. So far, they said they've gone pretty far. What exactly was this? Vault 13 and 15, they're all done with that. Junktown is almost done, over halfway done, and everywhere else has just started development.
Dude, that's amazing. Like, I love Fallout New Vegas. I think it's definitely my favorite 3D Fallout game, and I love Fallout 1, so if you could bring those things together. Also, when you guys are done, because I know you're listening, if you could go ahead and remake Fallout
Reggie?
Tactics, but in the XCOM engine, that'd be great. In the XCOM engine.
Reggie's like, okay, Fallout. What is this?
Now, why don't you remake Brotherhood of Steel from the original Xbox? You remember that?
No,
that a
what
Fallout
the fuck is
game?
that?
You shot big spiders. It was like a dungeon crawler. It
What?
wasn't- Yeah, it was not good.
I want to play. Yeah, I want to play that now.
See, Xbox exclusive. There you go. There's another game you want to play.
Mhm.
Doot doot. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare has officially reached 8 million players. That's right. And because of that, they're handing out 80,000 Plants vs. Zombie coin bucks. Who gives a shit? Doot doot.
Wait. One thing.
Doot doot.
Angry Birds movie is coming out with Danny DeVito. It's happening.
It's not Danny DeVito, but I
What
like
is-
it.
Oh my God, I'm the red one. I can't do Danny
Oh,
DeVito.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
All right, let's go on.
Wouldn't you be better as a pig?
That's what I said.
Doot
Doot
doot.
doot. All right, we have a boxed version of Fez being released on December 18th. There's only going to be 500 copies. It is going to be coming with a notebook, which is hardcover, a copy of the game, and as well as a copy of the soundtrack, all for the PC and Mac.
Do you get a selfie of Phil Fish?
No.
Oh.
I would want that.
It's going to be almost $100, and there's only 500 being produced, so keep your eyes peeled for that if you really
Oh,
care.
here's another news story about kind of related. Wu-Tang Clan had that album where they only released one copy of it
Yeah.
last year. They finally sold it.
They did.
Oh, that's cool.
Somebody bought it for like $100 million or something.
And now they're going to make copies of it and sell it everywhere.
No, I don't think they will.
No, actually, part of the contract is they're not allowed to sell the album for money for 88 years.
They toured museums with it.
Mm-hmm. But
Mm.
they still
only
ripped it and put it
opportunity.
online.
Didn't they
guess.
have... Is ODB on that? They have old recordings of him?
I think so.
Interesting.
Sure.
Interesting.
Once Upon a Time in the Wu-Tang, I think it was called.
That is video game related because Wu-Tang Shaolin Style is a video game.
It's a great
Yeah, and they
game.
also appeared in the Def Jam Vendetta and Fight for New York games, as well
Mhm.
as the other Def Jam fighting game that was really bad on 360. The one
Yeah.
where you could reverse time.
Yeah,
You're like
that
at a
one
gas
sucks.
station. You're making. It was the most stupid fucking sequel.
Prince of
I've ever-
Persia.
Might be the worst sequel I've ever seen. Is that Def Jam? Because that Def Jam Fight for New York is one of the best fighting games of all time.
Yep,
Love that game.
agreed.
Love that game.
You can play as Mike Epps.
And I was gonna say Seth Rollins, Henry Rollins.
Big
Oh, you
Hank.
play as Henry Rollins? Sweet.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna get that. I love Henry Rollins.
Yeah.
He's coming to town again soon, guys.
Oh,
All right,
cool.
let's talk.
Doot, doot. All right, Grand Theft Auto 5 has a brand new mode coming to online. Yes, they are still supporting Grand Theft Auto 5 online. The new mode is called Running Back, and basically you just have to get a series of 4 cars, with one car being special car, across a road, and there's other 4 cars trying to stop you. It's football, but with cars.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the news story.
It's like Crappy Rocket League.
Doot doot. Hey, there's going to be some Vault 111 costumes from Bethesda in Rock Band 4 for free December 8th.
Yay.
Doot doot. Shigesato Ito. He's a copywriter from Japan, famous for copyright. Like famous, respected copywriter. He also happened to make some game called Mother/Earthbound, something like
my
that.
baby.
Never heard of it.
He's been asked, will you make Mother 4, aka Earthbound 3. It's complicated. It's complicated.
And what did he
Earthbound
say,
2,
though,
actually.
Colin?
Earthbound 2.
What did he say?
He said it would be totally impossible.
Motherfucking impossible.
But here's why. I love this explanation. He's such a quirky guy. He actually doesn't have much to do with video games. He'll touch that here. When I made Mother 3, I thought I could do it, so I did it. Among big-time pop stars, if they, put out 10 albums, around the 4th album, they can't make very good songs. The albums sell, but everyone at the concerts wants to hear songs from those first 3 albums. I'm glad that video games are not my profession. If it was my job, I would have already made 4 and 5.
Are there any exceptions to that band-wise? Well, the Beatles, I guess, right?
Oh, there's plenty of exceptions, but I think
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
the rule of thumb is
Kidding.
a band has you have 10 years of really good creative songs in you, and then after that you run out of good ideas.
So good for him. I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
It is. I think the last time they asked him about it, he said that your life is Mother.
Your life is Mother 4. You're playing it right now. And also, there is a fan version of Mother 4 that's being released. It
looks pretty cool. The music
looks
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It looks like one of the best things I've ever seen. Mother 4. Look it up.
I love Mother 3, by the way, man. That game's awesome.
I gotta play it sometime.
Yeah, sure.
Doot. All right, let's wrap up the hype train with the games that are gonna be coming out this week. On Tuesday, you can play Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege as well as Just Cause 3, The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, Darius Burst, Chronicle Saviors.
Ooh,
yes.
Darius Burst.
And I feel like I'm missing a game on here.
It's a shmup, dog.
Kung Fu Panda something or other. I forget what it is. Some bullshit. Who cares? On Thursday on the Vita, you can play Sid Meier's Civilization Revolution 2 as well as Pokemon Picross on the 3DS.
Hell yeah.
And on Friday, Xenoblade Chronicles X will be released on the Wii U. You can expect first hours on a number of these titles, so go to youtube.com/videogamesardumb.
I'm getting it.
Doot. That's going to do it for the hype train.
That's it, Hype Train.
Stay tuned after this. On today's episode of 5-Star iTunes Z, Boku and Vegeta are fighting after Bajin Mu used magic on Vegeta. I think I'll fight you now, Baccarat, that I have an evil heart or something.
Let's see what you're made out of.
My power level. Ooh, yeah, my power level.
That evil magic is turning you into a monster.
I'm so evil I won't even take the time to review the PRESSURECAST on iTunes, giving them 5 stars and a written review, which will help the show.
I need to find all those iTunes stars to make the PRESSURECAST the greatest show of all time.
Now let us shoot laser beams at each other, Baccarat. Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew. Bayokan times 20.
Blast, super punch. Yes, you can handle that.
Hey, look, your son Bunks came back in time from a time machine.
I'm Bunks, and I'm here to use my sword. I have a sword.
You're the coolest character yet.
I have a sword, and I appeal to a younger demographic.
My son Bohan's way younger than you.
Wow, Bohan. He was old in my time, and he trained me against the dumb robots, but he got blown up. He was also missing an arm. It was very strange.
There's one
but my
time.
mother,
Your mother?
Loma, she
Loma?
she get a time machine. And I have also traveled back in time specifically to warn you that if you don't give the PRESSURECAST 5 stars on iTunes and a written review, then the whole world's gonna blow up or something. I don't know.
You're never gonna join me in my this booth here where time stops to train. Why not?
Tune in next week to find out more about iTunes 5-Star Z and write a written review and give the show 5 stars on iTunes.
Or Bay and Boo wins.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Oh, yeah. So,
Shaggy.
Usually we like to talk about the games.
Gangs of the week?
Of the week.
Gangs of the week. I like the Bloods. What do you think of the Crips?
Oh, Jesus, no. Okay, but here's the thing. There really weren't any games that were released. The only thing I could think of is Beyond Two Souls on the PlayStation 4. I played it. It's fine. It doesn't look that much better than the PlayStation 3 version. In fact, there's still a little bit of frame rate issues in daytime scenes. So I'm out. I got nothing.
Dude, I would rather blow raspberries into a dirty diaper than play Beyond Two Souls.
You started off with I want to blow. I'm just like, where's this going? Okay, that's.
I just
What
want
does
to
Steve wanna
blow
blow this
Willem
time?
Dafoe's goblin cock.
Steve, you're the only one that's really been playing anything
Yeah.
of relevancy. What did you play this week?
I played a game that isn't that new. I think it came out a couple months ago, but it's really
Great.
fun, and I got it for like $2 on the Steam fall sale, whatever the hell it is. And it's called Circa Infinity.
Oh yeah.
It is so cool. So, have you played Super Hexagon by any chance?
Yes.
Okay. So, imagine if Super Hexagon was a platformer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what Circa Infinity is. So, you have these, like, you know, like when people hypnotize people on TV and they have like the black and white spiral circles. So, that's basically what the level is.
The brain
And you have to
drain.
jump to different levels of this and avoid enemies and jump into the next concentric circle over and over again. So, it's almost like, it's weird. It like locks you into a trance. Like I actually feel like I was getting hypnotized by this game. But it's kind of
The
a
brain
puzzle
drain.
platformer because if you get hit by an enemy that's inside of one of the concentric circles, then it knocks you back to the previous one. So you have to be very careful about like how you're moving and if you're moving clockwise, counterclockwise. It's super intense, really fun, really addictive, really cheap right now. So buy
Are there
it, play it,
bosses
have
in
fun. No. Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far, but it does get progressively more difficult.
Sounds like every stage is kind of like its own unique challenge. Like,
Yeah.
you know, but it sounds like it's pretty fast paced, I would assume.
Super fast paced. Again, if you like Super Hexagon and you're looking for, I don't know, like I said, the platformer version of Super Hexagon, it's fucking incredible. So good. Totally worth checking out. And I think it's only on PC and Mac right now. I don't think it's got a console release.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that'll have to do
That's
it.
it. That's all we did. That's all we did.
I played more Fallout, I guess.
Yeah, I played a fuck ton of Fallout too. Fuck that game. I'm so over it.
We're gonna be talking.
I am too, yeah.
We're gonna be talking a lot about Fallout on the episode. That'll be December 28th. We're gonna be doing our Game of the Year stuff on December 28th. So we'll have a regular episode and then we'll have a special episode that I think will go up on Wednesday of that week. So it'll be actually available on December 31st. So that way you can stay in and just listen to the show.
Colin, I got a question.
What?
Am I just being a big grumple puss about Fallout 4, or is the internet as bored with it as I am, but still obsessively playing it?
The Metacritic user reviews are pretty bad.
Well, that's
Yeah, but
because of
who
Metacritic
cares?
user reviews. Yeah,
They're
Yeah.
some jackass.
that's like. Did you hear about that?
I fell down off a cliff and died. 10 out of 10. I can't get the game to start. 0 out of 10. Like, oh yeah, this is really helpful.
Did you hear about that? It's I don't know if they kickstarted it or Indiegogo'd it, but it's some website that's being set up as an alternative for video games to Metacritic, but it's driven by user reviews.
Oh,
Which
Jesus,
is like the
no.
worst idea of all time. They're like, we're sick of these corrupt journalists with their agendas, so we want to hear from the real gamers. It's like, yeah, the real gamers are the fuck sticks on Metacritic right now, so have fun with that.
Okay, well, great. We're done with the games of the week. What do you say we go outside? It's a nice day outside. It's
Cold.
30 degrees outside, but I know a place where it's always warm with the glow of money. It's a little place we like to call the Chart Park.
Smells great.
The land where money grows on trees. That's right, the Chart Park. This is where we find out which fat cats of Wall Street will tip their top hats towards Lady Luck as we discuss all the business, legal, and financial news in the video game industry, kicking it off with PlayStation 4. Once again, another milestone. 30 million PlayStation 4s sold in just 2 years. For
That's
real.
good. That's good.
That's a lot of PlayStations.
We have it once again. I mean, there's really nothing more we could say about this story except for the continued momentum of the PlayStation 4 is it's the Phoenix story of consoles. They did not do so well in the PlayStation.
Rose out of the ashes.
Yeah, they did. Well, PlayStation 3, the first 3 years of that console were not particularly great in the United States, and somehow they have literally dominated everywhere in the world except for Germany. I think Germany still has more Xbox Ones than PlayStation 4s.
Racist.
I like how the Xbox One is doing so poorly that it's basically going neck and neck with the Wii U worldwide right now, which is
The Xbox One they're in the driver's seat. They have I guarantee you they're selling more than the Wii U.
oh no they have,
Guaranteed.
but it's like the Wii U's at like 12 million and they're at 18 million. It's like guys, that's not good.
Small fries here.
It makes me so sad because the Xbox One is legitimately a fantastic system and people don't care. They don't want it. They literally it's go home heat. They hate it. They don't want to even see it.
Yeah.
Which is a real shame. Speaking of people and PlayStation,
Me again.
Hey.
Fergal Gara, you might remember him. He was the boss of PlayStation over in the UK that covered
Old
England
Fergie.
and Scotland and Ireland.
What game was he the boss in?
Sure, great. Good job there. Okay, he's actually joined Amazon UK and will be in charge of PC. That's all we know. So,
Politically correct?
well, he has a lot of experience in the games industry, pretty much everywhere he went. So we can assume that something's
PR
going-
guy, right?
He's the president.
Does this mean that I
PR
need
resident.
to?
Just talk in the mic. Put your feet down. Talk in the mic. Come on.
Does this mean that I have to buy an Amazon Fire TV controller now?
Yes.
Okay.
Should I get an Amazon Prime account?
Yes. Dude, you can watch all of Curb Your Enthusiasm on Amazon Prime TV. Why would you not do that?
They have it in syndication now, so
Do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, they gotta be editing. They talk about pussy on that show. They gotta be
Yeah.
editing
What
that
are
out.
you watching on
They leave it in.
TBS or some shit?
UPN.
UPN? Does that exist still?
No.
That's what I was about to say, man. That's what I was about to say. All right. GameStop has released their financial numbers from the last quarter. That quarter, of course, ended on October 31st. And the news is not good for GameStop, surprisingly. In fact, revenue and profit was down, with new hardware down 20%, new software down 9.3%. That is a downward spiral year on year. And yeah, however, their digital sales were up 8% at $228.6 million. What's going on with GameStop? How can they be going down when we have all these big titles? And we just talked about how many PlayStation 4s were sold. I know they don't make much money off of that, but you would assume that people are going to pick up some games. Is this people going more to digital storefronts as opposed to GameStop? What's going on?
Amazon?
Yeah, it's a twofold thing. The first is digital sales are growing, and the second is on new games and new hardware, the profit margins are razor thin. You make between $1 and $5 on new shit. Game stores make all of their money on used merchandise. So if they're selling fewer used games, then that would explain that.
Justin, you bring up an interesting point when you say
Does it gotta
Amazon.
Do anything to do with Amazon?
Well, Amazon has a lot of flash sales, and when it comes right down to it, GameStop does not price match. They do not have very good sales anywhere in the store. Even their Black Friday stuff, it's like, whatever, I'll go on Amazon, I'll get that for half of the price that you're charging, even on your sale. Do you think that Amazon and other websites like it are actually also influencing this? Maybe Best Buy, and even though Best Buy's not doing great, they have that gamer club thing that is giving people huge discounts
And
even
the
on
price
new games.
match, so
And the price match.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too, because especially big retailers like Amazon and even Newegg to a lesser degree are willing to take a loss or just break even on pre-ordered games. So a lot of times you'll see, oh, you can pre-order this game for $55 or $50 instead of $60. So it's that little bit of a marginal difference, and if you can guarantee shipping that'll get it to you on the day it releases, so people are like, yeah, fuck it, I don't need it at midnight.
Can GameStop be salvaged, or is this just going to be? I mean, I know it sounds very dramatic,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to sound dramatic, but this is something that's like, well, it does feel like this won't be around in 10 years. It feels like the new Blockbuster.
I mean, they could, except they're doing it wrong. Like, I think it was a good idea for them to examine the idea of doing retro game sales, but they don't have the proper staff or the knowledge that it takes to do that kind of thing. So right now, every single week, if I feel like there's a new story about GameStop sells someone like a fake copy of a retro game. I was listening to the Pat the NES Punk podcast, and they were just talking about how someone bought DuckTales 2 that was a repro card.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And then someone else, like, they bought a Conker's Bad Fur Day, and it came on a red cartridge. So obviously it was just Jeremy McGrath Supercross with a Conker sticker slapped on it. Just like shit like that. Like, you can't do that. You need to be able to sell used games, and you need to incentivize used game sales, and they're not very good at doing that.
Makes you wonder, they're pivoting so much more towards this Simply Mac idea and this Think Geek store. Makes you wonder how much confidence the company has overall in GameStop, or if they really plan on just evolving into just other avenues. You know, they have a lot of money still, so they could just create clothing shops for geeks.
They missed the boat. They should have bought GameFly when the opportunity came up, just like Blockbuster should have bought Netflix when they had the chance.
I don't even know if GameFly's. I don't know how they're doing, but I think there definitely is.
Well, Redbox is as popular as ever, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and that's the other thing too. People just rip off red boxes and then try and sell the games to GameStop.
Fantastic.
Yay!
All right. Capcom also over in Japan, they do 6-month updates for how their business is doing. Not doing too hot over at Capcom either. They did see a 22% increase in revenue, but the profits themselves are not doing very well. Digital content is up 6.2%, very impressive, but the operating income fell to $12.5 million, a 30% decrease. Arcade operations, which they still do over in Asia, also fell significantly in revenue. They fell by to $36 million. That's a downward of 8.6% from the same period last year. Operating income, 2.8 million, dropping 46.2% for the arcade operations. Holy crap. However, Pachinko did very well. Revenue is up 76%, and that adds up to 100 million. Yet, there is still an operating income for the Pachinko division of only $21.5 million because they saw a 19.2% dip.
Well, this year it wasn't a Resident Evil year and it wasn't a Street Fighter year. So
every year is a Street Fighter year. Do not get it twisted, man.
So what were the 3 best Capcom games released in 2015?
And going to the 3 best Capcom games, we have special report from Justin.
I don't even know what game.
That's correct. Name 2 games that were released
Colin,
by Capcom this year.
Lost Planet Special Edition.
I go to Colin for this one.
And back to Justin it goes.
Exactly. So the point is, when you don't release games and you're a video game company, you don't make money.
When are we gonna get one of those Pachinko parlors around here?
Never?
Why wouldn't we? Is it illegal?
based
You know
on
someone in the
gambling.
Yakuza? Like, why would we?
Well, maybe
have
the
one?
Potawatomi tribe will pick them up.
I don't think that
no.
they will.
Oh, the Yakuza.
Pretty sure they're doing okay with slot machines.
Or is that pretty much the same thing, or?
Kind of.
They
No,
Yeah.
Pachinko is like that shit on The Price is Right, where you drop the thing and it goes.
That sounds way more fun. Metal Gear Solid style, Plinko.
We made
Yeah.
one. We made
Plinko?
one. Yeah,
That's what it's
Plinko.
called. Yeah.
Okay.
We made a Plinko machine on the 3D printer at work, so you can play it at my job. If
And
you
then we
want.
made a gun.
We did it with M&Ms. You get candy.
We made a Plinko gun. Just guns falling on guns. Okay, Koei Tecmo. Remember them? They have a little bit of issue when it comes to Dura Live Extreme 3.
Oh, here we go again.
Well, according to their 6-month report, they have brought in $20.45 million in profit.
Yeah, baby.
But that's a fall of 25% compared to the same period last year.
Wah, wah. I heard Dynasty Warriors Extreme 8 is really good.
Here's the thing. Not really. Here's the thing.
After adjusting for inflation.
I like Samurai Warriors better at this point. They're just more fun.
Hyrule Warriors, maybe?
Hyrule Warriors. You might be saying, yeah, they actually mentioned that. They've created a brand new division that is focusing on partnering with other companies to bring their games into the Warriors series. Which of course is the Final Fantasy thing they're working on right now. They're working on a version of Attack on Titan, but they also promised that they would have a very big Western IP. Yeah, I know. What do you guys think it is? It's not gonna be Star Wars because EA's got that on lockdown. It can't be Marvel. They got that on lockdown.
Star Trek?
What about you think it's gonna be Batman or something?
Maybe. I mean, that's a possibility.
Justice League. You know?
I think they should actually make a literal United States analog to what the Warriors series is. So if you think about,
oh my God, the Warriors.
Gundam.
The Warriors, that would be great.
Gundam Warriors.
No, we're not bringing back Gundam Warriors.
Like the whole Dynasty Warriors thing, it's just like these famous historical figures from like Japan that fight each other. So why don't we just have like Abraham Lincoln and shit, just like dropping in and
Booth
fucking
has
shit
joined
up.
the battle.
Yeah, Booth has joined the
Alexander
battle.
Hamilton and his bank are here to.
Well, why didn't John Quincy Adams make it in the game? You know? This is bullshit.
Fucking Roosevelt riding in on his horse with his mustache. How
Fred
cool would that
Durst
be?
is here for some reason.
Other Roosevelt
Is this the Fight
riding in
Club
on his
game all of a
wheelchair.
sudden? Oh my God. Okay. Well, let's actually have some good news financially. Star Wars Battlefront is officially EA's biggest digital launch of all time. They did not report any numbers. However, it is worth pointing out that they did revive their forecast for the game to 13 million. I estimate they're probably reaching that or will reach that before the end of the quarter. Oh boy. It is time to talk about Billy Mitchell, the person who used to have the record for Donkey Kong. He's also famous for the movie King of Kong. He's also famous for making hot sauces. He was suing the TV show regular show on Cartoon Network for a character named Garrett Bobby Ferguson, who was not a very nice guy and would actually cheat to become the #1 in the world at arcade games. He was a walking, talking head with tiny arms and tiny feet. He sued because of this depiction. Unfortunately,
it looks just like him.
It does look just like him. Unfortunately, he lost the case. Judge Ann Thompson had this for her ruling. The television character does not match the plaintiff in appearance. GBF appears as a non-human creature, a giant floating head with no body from outer space, while the plaintiff is a human being. And when GBF loses his title, the character literally explodes, unlike the plaintiff. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Beautiful. Forever in legal history.
Beautiful Joe.
Okay, we're back on video. There's some weird technical issues this week.
Whatever, man.
Okay, we're going to go over to the cursed land of trains, known as England. I accidentally skipped a story. Fantastic. We're going to go to the UK charts to find out where the best-selling games in the UK. Starting off with number 10, it's Need for Speed. Number 9, WWE 2K16. Number 8, Minecraft Story Mode. Number 7, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Number 6, Lego Dimensions. Number 5, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Number 4, FIFA 16. Number 3, Fallout 4. Number 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And number 1, to no one's surprise, Star Wars Battlefront. Now let's go over to the cursed land of trains, known as Japan. Here we are with the 10 best-selling games. Guys, relax.
Okay.
Number 10 is Yokai Watchbusters Red Cat Team
White Dog Squad!
Number 9 is Shumikiku Gurasai Omasi Hajimaru Desu on the 3DS.
Finally.
Love it.
How
Oh,
did I do that one? No problem. Number 8 is Splatoon. Number 7 is Sword Art Online Game Director's Edition. Fantastic. Number 6 is Call of Duty Black Ops 3, still remaining on the charts on its 3rd week. Number 5 is Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, surprisingly being at number 5.
your favorite game?
Number 4 is Mega Labyrinth on the PlayStation Vita. Number 3 is Altair Sophie, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Book, which is actually a pretty cool little JRPG series on the PlayStation Vita. Number 2 is the exact same game, but on the PlayStation 4. And number 1, Star Wars Battlefront on the PlayStation 4. But what are the best-selling systems over in Japan? I've got the list right here. Number 1. We're not doing numbers, but here's the best-selling
Number 4.
one. Best to worst is PlayStation 4 with 29,052, new 3DS LL with 28,257, Wii U with 14,684, PlayStation Vita with 12,258, new 3DS with 5,859, PlayStation 3 with 1,624, 3DS with 1,012, Xbox One with 889, 3DS LL with 596, and PlayStation Vita TV with 583, meaning that the Xbox One beat out the 3DS LL and the PlayStation Vita TV, which is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, what the hell? Why are people buying it? Is it like Black Ops related or?
I have no... yeah, let's go with that. Black Ops related. That would actually make the most sense.
Star Wars
Look
Battlefront?
at me.
Yeah,
I'm
Star
Michael
Wars
Pachter.
Battlefront, maybe.
I have ideas about things.
And that's going to do it for the Chart Park, the land where money grows on trees. We did not have very many games of the week this week, so I think we can just coast through the rest of the show. What do you guys say? You want to just do the rest of the show?
Want to
Let's
go
do
easy
it.
on it?
Let's do it, baby.
All right, let's get tiny. It's time for Pocket
I'm
Talk.
this little guy.
Big talk in a small world. All right, it's Lara Croft Go. It's a pretty damn cool game that's available on mobile right now. And guess what? You're going to get a free expansion called The Shard of Life. That's 26 new levels, new monsters, costumes, artifacts, and gemstones. Have you guys
The
played
Shards
this?
of Life?
Yeah, The Shard of Life. That's what it is. Have you guys played this game yet?
No, I
The
still
new
haven't played.
South
I really
Park
liked
RPG.
Hitman Go though, so I should probably play it.
Hitman Go, though?
Hitman Go though.
Is that the new South Park RPG, The Shards of Life?
Yeah, I really like the sequel to that, Hitman YOLO. Very
Hitman
good.
Yellow, it's really good.
Though it's weird. Once you die, you can't play anymore.
Well, you only have one life.
Okay.
That's the joke.
Galaxy of Heroes. We're already living in it because you've got the pressure
'Cause we're
cast.
heroes, yeah.
However, if you want to play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, which is sort of like a turn-based JRPG combat system without any sort of traveling, it looks very, very strange. You
Yeah.
get different characters. It's available right now on iOS and Android. It has over 60 characters that you can collect and create your own teams for. So if you want Chewbacca and Boba Fett to take on some no-name stormtroopers, you can do that.
Great. What about Jango Fett?
Sure, why not? No, probably not. Actually, prequel.
Greedo shoots first.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Han Solo
Do you
is
know
an
about
aggressor.
that meme? The meme with Greedo?
I got a shirt. Look at my shirt. Okay, Hearthstone. How much is it worth to you to play Hearthstone? Well, it could be up to $1 million, as 16 players are going to compete in the Hearthstone World Championships
That's a lot of money.
with a $1 million prize pool. You can check that out at some point in the future. Okay.
Great research.
Shut the fuck up. Futurama is going to have its own game on iOS. Guess what? We finally have some details about it. You're going to be battling against the evil Momco as you plan to collect groups of delivery drones and solve an array of fiendish puzzles.
So it's like Clash of Clans?
Basically, in the Futurama universe.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
Wait. So it's not a direct port of the PS2 game?
And Xbox. Which
Backwards compatibility on that one?
that game was actually really awful.
I never played
It
it.
was very, very bad. Bad camera. And lastly, for Pocket Talk, the PlayStation TV had its price cut to $20 at Best Buy. And as I've noticed with the PlayStation TV sales, as Best Buy goes, so goes the nation. And so Best Buy, now $20 for a PlayStation TV, and it still doesn't sell. Sony should probably give up on this, right?
I can imagine at this point.
Yep.
I mean, they updated it so you can't crack it. Thanks, Sony. The one reason you might actually sell the damn thing. Whatever. And that's going to do it for Pocket Talk. Let's take the mushroom. Justin, give me the noise this time.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
What
That's
the
a
fuck
that's a
was
blo-
that?
that's a
You sound
blooper.
like you. Yeah. Wow.
Wait.
Okay.
Goo, goo, goo,
Is that Popeye having a stroke?
goo. Goo, 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 goo.
Wow, I smell burnt toast.
You know, it's actually bad if you're really muscular. If you have a stroke, that's really bad.
We're never gonna have to worry about that other than
No.
Steve.
You know,
Steve Guns cuff.
Big guns.
fantastic. Well, guys, it's one of my favorite segments where we poke
show's
fun.
over?
Where we poke
Oh.
fun at some people that have done some silly things in a segment we like to call the Idiot of the Week. The idiot of this week is what I presume to be a child of some sort who took to Instagram and broke their copy of Star Wars Battlefront and put some mean words on there. Oh, I'm sorry, this wasn't a child. This was Breaking Benjamin's 37-year-old frontman, Benjamin Burnley.
The titular Benjamin?
And he
Yes.
broke something.
He broke his copy of Star Wars Battlefront, posting an image to Instagram saying, They wanted to pay me to post that I liked this piece of shit game. He misspelled piece, by the way.
Oh.
It's spelled like peace, P-E-A-C-E.
Ellipses. They can shove it up their ass. This game sucks. I'd rather watch the god-awful prequels than play this piece. He misspelled peace again. And I actually Googled it because I couldn't believe it. And no country spells peace that way. Piece of shit 1 more second. Thanks for ruining Star Wars EA. Of course, there was no punctuation of any sort in here. Except for auto-correcting apostrophes where they belong.
He was just saying there's no Breaking Benjamin character.
This is a guy who's like old enough to be someone's dad, and he's in a fucking butt rock band that hasn't been relevant for over a decade.
I actually
Whoa, what a moron.
I watched a video interview and I copied down his thoughts on it when he was pressed further.
Okay.
Listen, you get shot out of nowhere, enemies spawn behind you and in front of you, and you're in the middle. That's not... Who wants that? You get shot with one-kill weapons that you don't have to earn. They're not pickups. You just get it. And when you charge up the shot, you're like playing the game and all of a sudden you die. Like, who wants that? Does that sound fun to anyone? All online games suck in their own kind of way because you're relying on the internet, which isn't like where it needs to be. Online games are a little too ambitious for what the internet can handle.
Somebody give this guy a fucking
internet.
Pulitzer. That's
Yeah.
He must be talking about my Wi-Fi at my house.
Yeah, he does. That's true.
Jesus.
He's like, I can't play this shit anymore.
he should start a Gamergate like rock and roll supergroup with that douchebag singer from Disturbed that tweets in all caps.
And how about Lars Ulrich too while we're at it?
I'm just saying real quick, why is he the idiot of the week? If a company says, hey, we're going to give you a free copy of the game, if you like it, can you please like post on social media? We'll throw you a couple of bucks or whatever. That's not illegal. I'm sorry. He's not a critic. That's why they go to celebrities to do this, okay? It's been going on for years. That's just how it is. You can say whether you like it or not. But to take that opportunity, for good or ill, and rather than ignoring it, he has to reference the fact that they offered him payment, which is just bad business.
Yep.
That's just lousy business. So, Benjamin Burnley whatever.
Stupid.
You are the idiot. Listen, you get shot out of nowhere of the week. Like, who wants that?
Who wants it?
I don't want it.
I don't want it either. Man, he should write a song about that.
I don't want to play Star Wars.
Who wants it? Who wants it?
And
Shot
also,
out of nowhere.
Who wants it? Who wants it?
in the video, he showed off his Darth Vader shoes. It's like, see, I'm a big fan of Star Wars.
Fucking idiot.
It's like, I buy all other shit they make.
Oh god, I want to punch him in the dick.
He might be a nice guy, but he came off as a big child in that. He's 37.
Dude, if you're the
And
guy
he
in
broke the
Breaking
disc.
Benjamin.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, he punched his Xbox in the video. He kept punching it.
What a fucking loser. Oh my god, Breaking Benjamin guy, if you're listening, Reggie's listening too. Me and Reggie are gonna curb stomp your ass.
Okay, that's on Steve. You know what? We need to
I'll
get away
watch.
from that. We need to go all the way back in time to look at the anniversaries of game releases and game events this week in a little segment we like to call Strong History.
Baby.
Hey.
10 years ago this week, me and Justin were hanging out in Circuit City because Super Mario Strikers was released on the GameCube, the awesome soccer game where you played as Mario characters and just beat the crap out of each other. Me and Justin would actually go to a Circuit City, never buy anything, and just play that goddamn game.
On the stupid demo over and over and over again. Yep,
the game was
great.
awesome.
Best game.
14 years ago, check it out. GameCube had not only Pikmin, but Super Smash Bros. Melee. Let me repeat that again.
Jesus Christ.
I want to say Super Smash Bros. Melee one more time and Pikmin because every goddamn time I get into a fight with somebody because they're like, oh, no, those were launch titles. No, they came out 2 weeks later.
True.
Just saying it. December 2nd. God damn it. Also on the PlayStation 2, Jak and Daxter, The Precursor's Legacy.
Ooh.
Yeah. On the PlayStation 2. So kicking off that franchise. Naughty Dog, of course, would later go on to make more of those. And then nothing else, weirdly enough.
Ever again.
16 years ago, Quake 3 Arena released on the PC, which I played lots of Dragon Ball Z mods and Simpsons mods.
Dude, I had a website design class in high school.
God.
And for some reason, all of the computers had Quake 3 Arena loaded onto them. So we all made our websites for the class in like a day, and then we spent an entire semester of high school just playing Quake 3 Arena. It was beautiful. Oh my god, it was
Lucky
beautiful.
bastard.
Also on
I
the
love that game.
PlayStation, Gran Turismo 2, one of the best-selling games on the system, was released 16 years ago on the PlayStation. Fantastic. 17 years ago, Baldur's Gate was released on the PC.
One of my favorite games of all time.
Really?
Yep. Love Baldur's Gate.
Get closer to the mic, you piece of shit.
Baldur's Gate 2 is even better.
I agree with that sentiment. There's a really good book that was written about Baldur's Gate 2. You should find it and read it.
As was StarCraft Brood War, which, dear God, that changed Korea. No joke. Korean pop culture was changed when that game was released. Seriously. 18 years ago, Quake 2 was released on the PC. So the last Quake game from id Official that actually had a single player.
I'll just wait for the next one.
19 years ago, Cruisin' USA was released on Nintendo 64, as was Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Ooh. Which a lot of people like Shadows of the Empire. I never liked it.
I like the first level a lot.
Yeah, it
Was
okay.
it the Hoth level?
Yeah, the Hoth level is amazing. It's still amazing, but all of the like on foot stuff is not fun.
Justin, Squadron versus
Squadron.
the Squadron. Okay, that was easy.
Easy.
20 years ago, Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness was released on the PC. Lots of PC
shit.
games this week, but I really just, got to pay props. As was the adventure game The Dig.
Ooh.
I know, pretty
What
cool.
about Chex Quest? That was the best game ever.
I don't have a date for that.
That was released in a box of cereal.
It was good. It was the best cereal game.
And lastly, 21 years ago, Samurai Showdown 2 was released on the Neo Geo. Snatcher, which we talked about last week, but 21 years ago, Snatcher was released on the Sega CD, its most famous port. And PlayStation was launched in Japan, Sony's very first console.
Never
in
heard of it.
Japan, 21 years ago this week. Wow.
Well,
That's it for Strong History.
that was a strong segment.
It was mostly PC based, but you know what? The PC, I think it has a lot of history to it that unfortunately gets kind of bogged down. As that's maybe the most future facing platform. No doubt about it. Always future facing. Always new things to do. Always new hardware to buy. So.
Seems tough.
Seems hard.
Let's close out the show. Steve,
come
where can
on.
people reach you on the internet, Steve?
You can reach me on twitter.com @SteveCuff. That's @SteveCuff. That's @Steve.
See you, friendly face.
We did it. Very good, guys. Also, OptimismVaccine.com. We've got a shit ton of articles coming out in the next couple weeks. We're doing all of our end of the year stuff, but instead of doing like,
Oh, the best movies, the best games, the best TV.
we're doing kind of underrated shit, things that you should have watched or played or done but didn't do.
You know what's funny? No, we're gonna be doing. Sorry, we're gonna be doing that in the segment for the end of the year. I've got a list already set up for the games that you probably forgot about as well. So not to steal your thunder, we're doing that too.
Oh, that's totally fine. I'll print off my article and read it verbatim.
Oh God,
I'll do one too. I'll do one too, guys.
I did that last year for the worst games.
Yeah.
I literally just read off my reviews
Hey.
because we'll talk about that some other time.
So yeah, we got that coming out. Also, the OpVatCast, we post a new podcast every single week. You can check that out. We have a great episode that we just put up the other day about Mr. Show and with Bob and David and sort of the history and lineage of Bob Odenkirk and David Cross. It's really good. You should listen to it. You can get on iTunes, get that shit. You get on Stitcher if you're fucking weird. Whatever you want to do. Just
5
do it.
stars. Give them 5 stars.
5 stars written review. It helps.
Justin, what do
Hi.
you got for us? Where can people reach you on the internet?
BreakingBenjamin.com.
You can find me at Justin and Colin on YouTube. That's where you should look for me. Justin and Colin are the game players. There's new stuff coming up. Don't even bother with my Twitter because I am.
What happened to your voice?
It went away again. I got sick.
Okay, great. Just get your face as fucking close to that
Colin, you
microphone
do it
as-
for me.
Okay.
Do the advertisement for my stuff for me.
Justin has a YouTube channel called Justin and Colin are the Game Players.
you.
I'm on it, and a lot of episodes will be coming up in 2016 because I doubt Justin will have any of those episodes done.
What
anytime
do you
soon.
what do you guys do on that
We
show?
play games.
No.
Yeah, but there's
we
other
dick
stuff.
around too. Yeah.
There's other stuff. It's Justin edits and does all this stuff. So it's his show, and you can also read him at Justin Eaglebart on Twitter.
That's me.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
You can follow me at Dr. Crychop. That's at Dr. Crychop. Or follow the PRESSURECAST at PRESSURECASTPod. If you go to youtube.com/video games are dumb, you're going to be finding videos for Rainbow Six Siege, Just Cause 3, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and some Kung Fu Panda game. I'm not really sure what that game is all about just yet. Definitely go there, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Go to iTunes, give the PRESSURECAST 5 stars. That would be fantastic. Written review at the same time. That really, really helps out. What else is going on? You can find my guide to what to buy your dumbass kids for their stupid...
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
What to buy your snot-nosed brats
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
holidays.
Well, if you need some gift ideas for your little mistakes, you just have to go to shepherdexpress.com and check out my latest blog. Definitely click on blogs and then click on VGAD because that's a great descriptor of what the fuck I'm doing. And hopefully you can
VGADs.
hopefully you can find it somewhere because they don't promote it. So, I have to do all the self-promotion and then it gets hits and they're like, oh, this is doing well, so we're not going to promote it. So there's a little tidbit there for you guys if you're listening. Anyway, it's episode 106 or whatever, but I was looking up and it's been 2 years since I did the PRESSURECAST, since I started the whole show.
Oh baby.
Which, you know what? If you check out whatever it was, like episode 60 something, like the first episode of 2015, I was almost ready to drop the show. I didn't want to do the show anymore. I didn't like the direction it was going in. I hated the fucking show.
He hated the director.
And thankfully, you know what? It's all come around. I'm so proud of this show. I'm so grateful these guys show up every single week. I'm not kidding. They always bring
Drags me out of bed.
funny and insightful, and I'm so happy that they actually take the time out of their week. And I feel like the fans, you guys are incredible. You write these emails, you leave these wonderful comments. I'm so grateful that the show just gets more and more popular. And I'm hoping you guys will be willing to go to iTunes and give it a 5-star review and share it with your friends or recommend it. I appreciate that because if you get to the end of this episode, you're who I'm talking about. You listen to the show all the way through. I can't say that enough. So I really do appreciate that. I'm so happy where we are. It's just totally different from where it was, and I love having all these segments and having these great guests and all this wonderful stuff. I'm so indebted to you people. So anyway, beyond that, that's really it. And you know what? The show almost did end at one point, which is why I don't watch that episode of the worst of the year because that's maybe the worst episode ever.
Wait, which episode? I want to watch.
60 something. It's still on the YouTube
All right,
page.
I'll find it.
Regardless, it didn't end. Why not? Because the PRESSURECAST is forever. See ya. PRESSURECAST, weekly video game news podcast, is solely owned and operated by Colin Tanner. Guests of the PRESSURECAST are not employees or freelancers of Colin Tanner, the PRESSURECAST, or VideoGamesAreDumb.com, and are not paid. Music featured on the PRESSURECAST is property of their respective owners, and no infringement is intended. For more information, email pressurecast@gmail.com. On today's episode of 5-Star iTunes, Vegeta and Boku battle because of the magic of Bajin Mu.
Vegeta, your magic is too powerful. You need to calm down.
I'm going to defeat you, Baccarat. Finally, I'll use my Binal Blash and blast you away because the evil magic has taken me over.
Hey, looks like your son Bunks came back in time, and he's using a sword to fight androids.
I don't care about bunks. I don't care about anyone. This evil magic has revealed my true self. I'm so evil, I won't even take the time to review the PRESSURECAST on iTunes and give them 5 stars and a written review to help the show get bigger.
You've turned into a monster.
You don't understand, Baccarat. This is my true nature. And now I'm going to use my Bame Bave on you.
Watch out, there's Bajin Boo.
What happened to your voice, Baccarat? You sound ridiculous.
Something's sickened me.
Let's start over.
Something sickened me.
Man, I just got like a lot of phlegm that came out. Whew.
All the fun just came out. Good. That's good to hear.
Oh, it sucks.
Okay, you ready?
Actually, it might be good. Wait 1 second. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck me.
You mean Buck B?
Buck Boo. Buck Bumba.
On today's episode of 5-Star iTunes Z, Vegeta and Boku are fighting. Let's start this over again. Try not to screw. If you're gonna do it, back away a little bit. Back away a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, right. Because we don't want to.